Have you ever watched a movie and right in the middle you had to stop and say, this doesn't make sense? Maybe you were confused as to what was happening, or maybe you just couldn't track the plot, but you kept watching. And when the movie ended, you said, oh, now I get it. If you had turned it off too soon, you would have missed what the story was really building toward. Because the middle is not the end. The truth is, the middle of the story can feel messy or appear cloudy, but the middle is where God is still writing. Let me paint you another picture. The middle child syndrome. The oldest gets the spotlight. They're the first. The youngest gets the attention. They're the baby. But the middle can feel like the forgotten one. Not the first one everyone brags on, not the last one everyone checks on, but in between. And sometimes the middle child starts asking, what about me? Do you see me? Do I matter? Now life can feel like that. The beginning has excitement, the ending has celebration, but the middle is where you're going to have to do some hard work, where you're going to have to grow up, where you're going to have to pray, you're going to have to wait and wonder if God sees you. God sees you. And if God sees you in the middle, God will sustain you in the middle. Joseph is somebody who lived in the in-between and stayed faithful. What appeared to be misfortune, betrayal from family, slavery, attack on his integrity, imprisonment, and years of being forgotten was in fact preparation. Through every hardship, Joseph remained faithful, trusting that God was in control. His middle did not define him. His faith did. And here's how we know Joseph didn't just survive the middle, but understood what God was doing in it. When God brought him through, Joseph looked back and testified in Genesis 50 and 20. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. You're not going through just for yourself. Somebody's life is also counting on your testimony. The middle is not the end. Just as Joseph stayed resilient in the setbacks, forgiven when he was wrong, and faithful in every assignment, we have to believe that God is working through it all. And what God did for Joseph, God can do in you and for you if you don't give up in the middle. The same God who turned Joseph's pain into purpose is still turning stories around. Your trials do not define you, your faith does. The middle of Joseph's life looked like failure, but it was preparation. And some of you are in the middle of your story right now. Nothing makes sense. You're doing the right thing, and it still feels like you're losing. One minute you're up, and then the next minute you find yourself singing, how low can it go? But don't you dare conclude God is absent just because you're uncomfortable. Don't make a permanent decision in a temporary season. Don't quit because you don't understand the middle. The middle is not the end. Joseph was elevated into a position of great influence and leadership in God's timing because he stayed faithful in the middle. He kept his integrity, he kept his faith, he forgave what was unfair, and God used it for good. His story reminds us that God uses every circumstance to grow us into who we are meant to be. Don't let bitterness take your worship. Don't let delay destroy your trust. Don't let the middle make you quit. Keep showing up. Keep obeying. Keep believing. Keep trusting in God and trusting in your process. And when God brings you through, you'll be able to say, now I see what you're doing. So if you're tired, if you've been carrying that hurt, carrying that waiting, carrying that I don't understand, this is your reminder to hold on a little longer. The middle is just that. It's the in between. It is not the end. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And God is not finished writing your movie. He still has the pen in hand. Keep your hand in God's hand and let Him do what He does. May the Lord bless and keep you. May He strengthen your heart in the waiting, steady your mind in the pressure, and give you peace that surpasses understanding. May He restore what was broken, redeem what was painful, and guide your steps with His wisdom. In times like these, we need a word, and this has been that word. Be encouraged in the Lord. The middle is not the end.